Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
Huh? Nope. Nope.
Mamma mia!
This is Jason from Retro Gaming Asylum. Welcome to Game Masters.
Welcome, everybody. It's the day that everybody's been waiting for. It's the Intervention Day. Happy Intervention Day. We're here to intervene on Brandy's, her hoarding habits that she has. I mean, I'm sorry, we're talking about when does a collector become a hoarder? Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that this was centered around me. I didn't expect that at all.
I'm excited for today's show. I really am. I think it's fun because I think people have the wrong assumption sometimes. Like, people call hoarding even if you have like 20 things. So I'm curious to see what everybody thinks.
I think so too. I think there is like an often like some sort of like over exaggeration at times, but I also think that sometimes you do have to spot some of these little things, you know. I think you have to be mindful of this stuff.
Yeah, and we see a bunch of the folks here in the chat room. What's going on? Brandy, you want to give a shout out? And guys, if you're in the chat room, give a shout out so we can, say that you're here.
Yeah, we had a Pixel Game Squad earlier and said, usually immediately, you know, when it talks to hoarding and collecting. We have Chase, he's in the chat. And then we have X-Men, House of Training, Retro AF. We have Bryce JW. This guy called the Tech Buzz, whoever that is.
I don't know that guy. He's trouble.
Test. Yeah. We have Drunk Wizard Gaming. And then we have Bo is Furious. And David Bryant Piano. Hey guys, hey Brandy. Ultrabox 64, howdy. So we do have quite a few people in the chat. It's still like moving, so sorry if I'm a little choppy. It's it's the I think intervention scared my connection over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's having all kinds of wind. It's like it's always Wednesday, right? You notice that? Wednesday we run into problems.
I don't know what's going on. It was like wind advisory or something, and then you hear a little whistle outside and you're like, great, well at least it's not raining yet. So
it looks like the folks from PlayStation Ain't Dead are here, and Bo is Furious.
Oh, that's who it is.
Ultrabox 64.
Yeah, it does that. It changed the names up on everyone, so I don't know why.
She just can't read. That's what it is. No, it was funny. I told Brandy, I said, I was hoping it didn't come to this. So, we want to talk about game collection here, but Brandy, what happened was earlier today, like I was walking down the cellar, the basement stairs, and I started getting like that musty smell, like of water that was just stagnant. It was just sitting. And I remember that smell from when we first moved into the house when the sump pump wasn't working in our washer area. So I went over and looked, and it was full, and I reached my hand into the pit, because that's the last thing you want to do is reach your hand into the pit, but you got to do it. Pulled up the float, and it wasn't activating. And so I was like, ugh.
Oh, no.
And I never changed one before, but it had little turn-offs to get the pipe out and get the whole thing off. So a buddy of mine, his dad is a contractor, so I called him. I was like, what do I need to buy? It was just a matter of screwing the new pipe into the sump pump and screwing it back up the thing, and it was draining all the water out. But hey, I was even telling Brandon, she was like, yeah, I'm going to check mine, because talk about hoarding. You won't have to worry about hoarding, because all your stuff's going to flood if you get all that water from your sump pump in the pit. So I got that done right before the show.
Yeah, you
so that was
definitely
good.
don't want that. Do not want that. And that would not be a great start off if here we go and then something were to happen. You always have to be mindful of the maintenance. You have to make sure the upkeep on everything is good, and you have to protect your hoard of items.
The hoard of items. No, but I think we're going to have an interesting topic with that coming up. But we did have, so Awaz is here. He gave me a file, but it was a little too late. I needed it a little bit earlier, or a notification to let me know that it was there earlier. So we're going to play that one next week. Because we're gonna follow up. We're gonna kind of look back at this week, but we actually have some news to talk about, and we're gonna get into something I was doing in my daughter's room, and then also we have what is his name? The Crimey-Cade? Is that correct?
Yes.
The Crimey-Cade?
It's a fellow podcaster, and he has a channel, and he is most likely in the chat. He usually pops on in.
Okay.
So if you've ever seen the Crimey-Cade, yeah,
and
you definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, and he's got a video for us about his 5 craziest controllers. So we're gonna take a look at that. So without further ado, all this yapping and stuff, let's get into the news.
Hi, this is William Jackson For Millennium Flashbacks, you're watching the Game Masters on YouTube.
Yes, so we do have some news.
She's a little slow today.
Has anyone seen the? I know this is not keeping up with it. Like the audio's there, but the video is not. I don't know what's going on. But did anyone catch the Super Mario Galaxy movie official trailer? Anyone? It's not Taylor Swift, so maybe people don't know about it. But anyone?
Let me ask you, Brandy. Are you surprised that they went to Super Mario Galaxy as the theme for the next movie?
Well, like, didn't we kind of get like a little teaser trailer thing or something? I mean, it was so long ago, I barely remember. But didn't they like hint to it? At the end of the movie,
they kind of did, but I was just kind of wondering why. Like, I get it. Is it because they're promoting like the Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for Switch 2 or Switch 1, I should say?
Yeah, I guess that does make sense.
But of all the Mario Brothers, Galaxy, is that? Were you disappointed from what you saw?
No, and I guess the reason why is because, all right, think about it. What game system and game era has been like really hot? Like GameCube into Wii.
Yeah.
Wii is so popular. The people of that age, they're really marketing towards that. If you think about it in like a taking it back sort of thing. So it's kind of like that popularity. Now, obviously, I would have liked to have other movies or other spin-offs or other things that are like older and they could have like, jumped in and did all kinds of different things. But I guess it kind of is hitting just right. And it makes sense that they would do something like this. And it was, I guess it is one of the best ever games on the Wii. And then here we go with revamping some of that retro stuff. It is like in that kind of era is pretty close to retro or taking it back or classic.
I guess I was just wondering why they didn't do like a Mario 3 style first. Because that was like the greatest. It has been deemed the greatest Mario Brothers game of all time. Whether we agree with it or not.
No, I mean, they should have. They should have, like, continued in order, but at the same time, like, movies don't pop out as fast as...
True. Sunshine movie?
Every year.
Yeah, Sunshine movie would have been good.
That'd be pretty cool, too. They should have did something like that.
I mean...
Yeah, I mean, they could have even did, like, something N64 era. Like, they could have really honed in. They missed a lot of opportunities, I'd say.
I mean, we are going to watch it. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
but it's like...
Of course.
I just... You got to do something where Toad and Princess are the characters, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't play those in Mario Galaxy. I haven't played it in a while. I don't believe you can play them as playable characters, right?
It's been a while since
I know.
played.
Somebody check me. I think Mario Brothers 2 you could and whatnot, which is... But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It's a movie, right? So
yeah, they do whatever.
They can do whatever.
They're gonna change some things, up anyway. They're gonna shift it. They're gonna make it interesting. They're gonna take the best aspects of it.
Yeah, they're saying in the chat room.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think so too, because the release of Galaxy 1 and 2. That's what everyone seems to be doing and saying in the chat.
It's not a bad deal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're gonna watch it. I mean, no doubt. I just I'm just curious as to why they decided to go that direction. That's all. I gotta appeal. It's gotta appeal to the younger generation. Super Mario 3 is for us old 40+-year-olds. He's not wrong.
Yeah, because you guys are old, so that does make sense.
You had to throw that in there.
Set yourself up for that. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
she's
not
on
for
that.
all you baby boomers. You gotta appeal to the younger audience.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that hoarding, shall we? This is that intervention we're talking about. So that's the big news. There, we have a little group chat with some other YouTubers and whatnot that brought up something. I didn't get a chance to watch the video, so I don't want to comment on it yet, and I don't think Brandy, you got a chance to watch it. But it's a Steam machine from Steam Deck. It's like a desktop console instead of having the handheld that Steam did. It is a desktop console. If anybody got a chance to take a look at that, that might be something for you to Google and watch the video on, or go on YouTube and type in Steam machine, and maybe we'll talk about it next week. But I don't want to comment on something that I haven't seen any information on, just because I didn't get a chance
I need
today.
to look it up.
So if you guys saw it and you think it's awesome, let us know in the comments after the show, or if you're here live, go ahead and put it in the comments here if you watch the video and if you think it looks great or doesn't look great. Bryce JW, Steam has a console. I guess that's what he is referring also to what I was just saying about. IGN has a post about it. There is a video about it. Our buddy Neo Ness actually brought it up to us in a chat, and he was letting us know about it. And I just didn't get a chance to watch the video. Brandy, I know you've been burning the candle both ends too. So and to
Always something.
Yeah, to kind of show you guys. So this is what I was doing this week. Let me back up first. Okay. Let me go here. Can I zoom this in? Maybe I can. Okay. So my daughter, it was right around the time where I lost my job. I had gotten laid off. And so she didn't get really a lot for her birthday, but she wanted this loft bed. Okay. So we picked this up. It's got a computer desk underneath, so she's got her computer set up and yada, 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 and her queen-size bed up on top. Okay. So then Dad, of course, being Dad, wanted to take it one step further, and she'd asked about it. So this is what we did. We put some clouds in her loft right underneath where her gaming space is, and put some lights up in there so she can change the colors and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's what I was doing this week. Was, believe it or not, it's a lot of work. We had to zip tie the stuff that we put the LED lights on and the clouds and everything. We had to zip tie that to the bed frame. Oh, it was fun times, let me tell you.
And it's like they don't know how good they have it, because
I would have
loved to have some cool little setup like that. And you know what my favorite part is in that little setup?
What's that?
The Game Dad.
Oh, we don't want to even talk about that. We don't want to talk about that.
Why is there not a Game Masters or?
Because I'm sure he paid her to do that. Any video that your dad shoots in your room, throw the Game Dad down. No. Does it rain indoors? In her room, it does. So, so last week we talked about what? We didn't say 5. We said as many as you wanted, but the craziest controllers, weirdest controllers. Is that what we said too? Weird.
Yeah, like weird, odd, crazy, unique, uncomfortable. Any of those, I think it's kind of what we did. So again, we had a late entry, and maybe I can get that video from Owaz in here while this video is playing, because this is rather long. It's about 7 minutes. But the gentleman, what's his name? He does the Crimecade podcast. Yes, he's from the Crimecade podcast. He's had quite a few of, probably even some people in the chat here. I was on his podcast. I know he's had quite a few guests before, but definitely has, a lot to talk about. Really fun to see. He pops on by in here. So you'll definitely have to check it out, because he had some really interesting entries. I would say different ones than what we were kind of going for. So I really wanted to, go ahead and get that all edited together and stuff after he sent that in.
Cool. Let's take a look at it.
This is the mad conservative crime fighter Stephen Lucas, Forward Game of the Year, Goblin Ghost Arcade 2021, the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge National Champion. And these are 5 of my oddball game controllers. Starting with this one, the original OG of game controllers. The Odyssey 1 Magnavox. Look at this thing. It's got 2 spinner knobs. One to control the vertical, one to control the horizontal. To control 2 blocks and a, I don't know, missile on the screen. And then you gotta put an overlay over the television to play the game. Kind of use your imagination. Yeah, this is a pretty strange little device, but you know, this was the early 70s. Gaming was kind of in its infancy. So you couldn't expect much for that day and age. And the second controller. The Fairchild Channel F. This controller you hold in your hand and you control the stick up top. And it moves in all 8 directions. You can twist the knob. You can pull up on the stick. You can push down on the stick. Does all sorts of different functions. For a game system that was more primitive than the Atari 2600. Remarkably, yes, a game system that only had 8 colors, very low resolution, but intuitive programmers managed to find a way to create a version of Pac-Man, create a version of Tetris, create a version of Centipede on this primitive hardware. Remarkable. And of course, Space Invaders, considering that was the last official release. And so now, the next controller, as I'm about to be crashed by a crazy cat on my pod. Ugh. I did not need him to interfere with my pod, my little video here, but he's going to do it anyway because he's the star of the show. Yes, this idiot, right here. Yeah, this goofball controls me. Say hello, Cody. Anyway, this monstrosity. Look at this. This is a controller. What do they call this silly thing? They call this the Rail Driver USB Desktop Train Cab Controller. What game do you play with this? I mean, supposedly you can play any game on it because it's technically a keyboard. Yeah, I see all the keys on here. I see a directional pad here. Yeah, you see a mouse there. A directional pad here. All these keys here. Looks like a thrust. It's like, how do you play this? What the heck is this supposed to be? I don't know how you play a game like this. And here's the next one. The U-Force from the Nintendo Entertainment System. I guess you wave your hands over, I don't know. You're supposed to wave your hands over that, over those sensors, and you could control the game. I don't know how I'd play a game if I have to use motion controls. Certainly, you know, not like the Wii U, the Wii controllers, where, you know, you point it at the screen, there's a sensor. It kind of works a lot better. It connects controllers. But before it connects, before the Wii U or the Wii controllers were even thought of, motion control games, yeah, this little thing. I don't know how it works. Seriously. But here's the oddest ball of them all, in my opinion. GameCube controller with a full keyboard. Yeah, I can imagine playing Super Mario Sunshine with one of these. Yeah. Yeah. What was this thing really designed for? I guess it was for internet? But you couldn't connect to the internet with a GameCube. You had to have something, I guess, something called Final Fantasy Online or Fantasy Star Online. I'm not sure what the game was that used this thing, but Sega did this one better. As you can see, look at this. The typing of the dead. Galloping Ghost Arcade got this thing recently. 2 side-by-side keyboards mounted on the arcade cabinet. And yes, just like the Dreamcast game. But there was an official arcade release in Japan. And Galloping Ghost Arcade got this thing over here. And if you want to play it, head over to the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago. Yeah, you're not typing English phrases on this. You're typing, well, you won't be typing kanji, but translated Japanese words into English lettering. So, playing this game, you're going to be typing a bunch of words that may not make any sense to you. So, head on over there to Galloping Ghost in Chicago if you want to try that thing. Those are my 5 weirdest controllers. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, Rock_Sheep, or Facebook.com/TheCronycade. I'll be streaming Thursday night. I'll be hosting the Bloody Wars Roundtable at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm looking to maximize all the on-screen guests since I got the StreamYard account, and it should be a pretty daunting little task, but I'm up for the challenge. Game Masters, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Awesome. I'm glad. Yes. I'm glad to see he picked a few of the ones that I picked. So there's some validation that I wasn't nuts when I said, some of those controllers were weird and out there. The U-Force especially. But what do you expect from us old guys? I mean, come on.
That's what I was about to say.
I figured as much. That's right. We still didn't get to your intervention yet today, so we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna crack all the jokes I can before then.
You get it all in there. That's all good. Owaz, we managed to get your video in here. I got it from your chat because I'm old and I can do things really quick and multitask, unlike my co-host here.
I showed up.
She showed up. There you go. She only scheduled the video without the right thumbnail on it either. She did that.
I don't know how that happened.
I do.
I did it yesterday. I was like, I'm a whole day in advance. I'm going to get this scheduled without being reminded to. And then when I went to hit schedule, I noticed there was an error and the date was wrong on my computer. So I exited out of it. And when I went back in, I must have quickly changed the title, but I never changed the thumbnail. So I don't.
So the NES chair, I think Brandy has one of them, but the Steel Battalion.
I do. I forgot about that.
The Steel Battalion, she showed that off last week, I believe. Yeah. Grandpa's cranky again.
Yeah.
Oh, butterscotch candy. I could go for that. That sounds about right.
I'm shocked you don't have those. You know how you go over every old person's house and they have like a whole candy dish?
Or they have the strawberry ones, the strawberries with the...
Those are so good.
They are good.
And they're hard, but you like chew them.
Yeah.
I feel like every old person I've ever been in their house has always had them. I'm shocked. I think you need
and
to
the peppermints. Don't forget the peppermints.
Well, no one really likes certain things.
Oh, well. And candy corn.
I like the buttermints better than the peppermints.
Candy corn. Don't forget the candy corn. J Square Pig's favorite candy.
I like candy corn.
I'll tell you what.
And he loves Monopoly.
All right. Speaking of loving certain types of games, let's get into what we're playing this week because one of us was a slacker.
Hey, this is Michael Rickard from Wildcard Video Games. You are watching Game Masters on YouTube. Enjoy.
All right, so this is something I'm not playing yet. but it's something I am going to be playing because obviously you heard about all the busyness that I had.
Cheated.
Well, come
that.
on. No, you
I
could have.
said something that I plan on playing.
This is being creative. Okay, that's what this is. So this is a game that I will be playing this weekend because it's one of my pickups. Okay, it is. It's one of my pickups that man, I'll tell you what. Anyways, so the Evercade brought out this awesome new Neo Geo volumes 1. I believe it's 1 through 3. I only got 1 so far because I wanted to take. I mean, Brandy, Metal Slug is one of my favorite shmups of all time, and shoot 'em up, side scrollers. So that was one of my pickups this week. I know we're going to get to that, but this kind of goes with this. So the Neo Geo Evercade Volume 1 is what I picked up. Right. It was just delivered. It came out November 5th, I believe. So any Evercade users, lovers in the chat room here, have you guys got this? I think one of the other Evercade volumes, Brandy, has like Metal Slug 2 on it, I think. But I'm hoping that, or it's Metal Slug X, I believe it is. So I'm hoping to get those as we go. What now? Now what are you doing? I see the big smirk on your face. What is this?
Yeah, because you said shmup. It's not a shmup.
Run and gun.
It's a run and gun.
You agreed with me.
I know you were.
You agreed with me.
You were like going in your head thinking.
No, wait a second.
And in my head, I was like,
you agreed with me. Something
ain't right.
No, wait a second. She agreed with me. Go back, rewind it. She agreed with me. So she's just as bad. Okay.
Whatever.
Her young mind should have caught the old mind. Okay.
Well, I was just letting the old mind keep
whatever.
going. I was like, he could just keep digging.
No, the running
guns
like
because I was like,
Contra would be my second favorite when it comes to the run and gun, if you want to consider that a run and gun style. But it is. Would you agree? Yeah,
but
Jason,
I do love Metal Slug.
Metal Slug's a great game. Like
I had like a little built-in arcade that had one of them. I don't know which one, but it had it on it. And then obviously like the Wii has that. Is it Metal Slug Anthology or Metal Slug something? It has like a whole bunch of them. Definitely fun games.
Is it any good on the Wii? I've never played it on the Wii.
I think so. But I prefer it on like an arcade, like actual arcade stick.
Yeah, I usually play on my
I feel like
games.
it plays much better.
I played on my games.
I feel like it's way better.
But yeah, so anyways, I picked that up. I pre-ordered it. I got it. Supposedly, it's either the other one that was anyways, either way, this was going up in price. I got it before the price went out. I don't know what is with these Evercades. Have you seen that like the price goes up all the time on these? And I don't understand it.
Yeah, I still don't have one yet, and I'm kind of shocked because I feel like that would be something that I would buy a lot of those compilations and I would play a lot of those.
You should get
because they have so many like retro ones.
Yeah, they do, and they have a lot of like they go off of the creator of the games, so you can get the different packs for them. So that's what I've been trying to do. Jesus Diaz Burger says, I just saw your last video assembling your R2D2, and the end you can see the Dallas Cowboys bear. That's correct. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. I finally got that video out. You guys saw the short. I got it out today. I still it puts a smile on my face every time I see R2 light up. My little one, she loves it. She absolutely loves it. And somebody said here, darn YouTubers keep talking about them. Listen, if you want to get one of them, the R2, real quick plug. I was telling Brandy, I have a link in my description. It's not an affiliate link. You don't get money from it. I don't get money from it. But it's a way that you could say, like, if you wanted to find it, because it sells out quick. It's called Track-a-Lacker. Track-a-Lacker.com. If you click on that and you say that I want to track the Switch 2 or I want to track R2-D2 from Home Depot, what'll happen is they'll send you an email or text notification if you have that turned on the second it becomes available. So you can go to the website and order it and not have to worry about the bots buying it out. And that's how I ended up getting mine, because I saw it in a Facebook group. Of course, I joined one, Brandy, that has to deal with this R2-D2 because
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, people are doing
The
stuff.
second you talked about it,
Oh, it's phenomenal.
it popped up.
So that's how I found out about that Track-a-Lacker website. So it's a great way to find out, to beat the bots that are trying to get all this stuff before it comes out. So that's how I ended up getting it without paying the scalper. Scalpers want $5, $6, $7, $1,000 for these things. They're not worth $1,000. They're not worth $500. So,
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so I figured I'd throw it out. I told Brandy, I said, hey, even if you're not into R2D2, maybe you want to pick one up and flip it. Maybe you want to add it to your hoarder stash. But she didn't jump on it. I thought maybe
Yeah, it just didn't seem too interesting to get into that chaos. When I see chaos like that, like with the PS5, when that came out, I was like, you know what? I don't even want it right now because I don't want to deal with all that mess. I have enough stuff going on, being a hoarder and all.
But wait a second.
So it's just
imagine this. It's Saturday night. You're having Friendsgiving. And all of a sudden the children come down the stairs and R2D2 starts chirping at them and moving and talking, and then your game room becomes the talk of the town because you have an almost 1-to-1 scale of R2D2 in your game room. Now you're the talk of your
I'm
precinct.
a little worried it's going to go in a different direction. It's going to literally be this episode. When does a collector become a hoarder? And everyone's coming over for Friendsgiving and they're going to see my house and be like, oh, this is normal on this level. And then I go, come into the basement, come into the darkness,
come into the parlors.
And then they come down the steps and they all get terrified and they run out because they see too much stuff. That's the direction I'm thinking.
It's possible. We're going to get into that here yeah. So Brandy, tell them a little bit about Friendsgiving. They were asking about that in the chat.
Yeah, I had to pay people to be my friends, and I bribed them, so they're coming over. No, it's just a little like Thanksgiving. You share a meal with some coworkers and stuff. So I do have some people coming over this weekend, and I just wanted to make sure, everything looks the part. And
come see my bathroom.
Go through. Yeah, pretty much.
Brandy will start with the R2D2 and then end up with all of them in the set. If I had the room, I already told my wife, I would get the whole set. I really would. The whole collection just looks awesome.
Yep.
But here's the thing. I'm not leaving it up just for Christmas. That thing's coming down in the game room. I'm looking to get rid of my X Arcade because nobody plays it. So I'm going to put R2 where the X Arcade is, I believe. Yeah, my wife's in the chat room. She'll tell you. See, I really would. I would get it. Hey, we're going to get into this. Don't give her any hints or anything like that. But before we do that, we got to get into our video game pickups this week, and then we'll get into our main topic of discussion. Check it out.
Hello, I'm Chris Sebastian from Play It Games, Movies, and Music, serving Central Ohio with 3 locations. You are watching Game Master.
All right. So somehow that got switched. Let me switch that back real quick before. There we go. All right. So let's take a look at my pickups here. Unless, Brandy, do you have pickups first? Do you have anything that you want to share?
I do not. I have some stuff down in the basement, but I do not, unfortunately.
Everything's in the basement. Listen to her. Okay. Then we will go. She's been busy, so obviously you guys saw that I got this. Okay, some of the stuff that I'm going to show you, I picked up myself, but then also I got from companies who sent it to me. So let me get my camera squared up here. So that way you guys. All right. First thing that was sent to me, they want me to do a review on this, is this microphone. They said for gamers. So, like, if you're a gamer out there and you're looking for a good broadcasting microphone, pay attention to my review because the microphones that I'm using right now for my broadcasting, they're probably about $350, $375. Now, this microphone, I think it comes in a little over $100. It can be used with USB or XLR. We're gonna do a video on this, and we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison for the microphone that you're hearing me on right now, and then also this one. So, and if you're into lights and stuff like that, there's lights on this. But talking about the hoarding mentality, Brandy, this is something that I'm going to kind of get into later. But usually, what I do with some of these, if I don't like them or if it's not something I want to swap my microphone for because I like my microphones, I usually give them to my kids. And my kids have got microphones now. So if my kids do not need or want this, I'm probably going to give this away to somebody in the chat room. Okay. So if you're looking for a microphone and you want one, I'm gonna give it away to somebody out there. So that's something that I got. Another product that was sent to me for review as well is this headset.
Very nice. Notice
I get a lot of the broadcasts. This is a wireless headset, but you can also use it for PC gaming or console gaming. G522. I want to compare it to, like, obviously the other headsets that are out there. Again, this might be given away after the video because I can't keep all this stuff. We're talking about hoarding mentalities, right? If you guys are interested, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and Brandy's YouTube channel because maybe we'll give it away here on the Game Masters because I can't keep all this stuff. It's cool that they send this out, but, right, I can't keep all this stuff.
Yeah, sure you can.
Now, yeah, no, they gave that to me. This I actually bought on sale. Brandy, what do you think of this?
Dang, you got the sale. I did see that, and I was shocked.
$52 I paid for it.
Dang.
I picked it up. I have no nostalgia for the 7800.
I saw it too late. It was all gone.
But I bought it. It's still in the box. I haven't even taken it out yet. It comes with one game. It comes with the one game from the, what is it? Crystal Quest? Does that sound right? It's the little bear that goes around. He gets the crystals and whatnot.
Yeah, it looks like it's on the front.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right down here in the corner. So I'll probably get like some of the Donkey Kongs and stuff like that. So I picked this up for $50-some. I think it was like, normally, isn't it like $100 for this? Normally?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's like over $100 or
is
about
it?
100 or something.
Okay.
I thought so. I thought it was up there in price.
Yeah. So I picked this up. And I figured it includes wireless controller, so we'll see how it is. That'll be in a video coming up.
Nice.
Then, last but not least, Castlemania Games. You can remember they were in the chat room last week, and I was razzing them. They sent me the Retron 5. If you guys aren't familiar with that, one of the things I want to use this for, Brandy, is at the conventions this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
So we can play with different people that show up at the booth, maybe do some prizes and giveaways with it.
Yeah, that's smart.
So that was one of the things I reached out to them. And I might take some of my original consoles and put them back in the box and keep them safe and just use this to power all of it. Again, getting rid of some footprint. They also sent me this to go with it. This is a little insert that you put in the cartridge slot. It's a 3-in-1 adapter and enables you to play Game Gear, the Sega card, and the Sega Master System on the Retron 5. So pretty cool. I'm going to do a video on this as well. I've got a nice backlog of videos for pickups now. I don't know what to do. So this just came in the mail a day or so ago. What do you think there, Brandy?
I mean, it looks like you got to get to work. You got to make some videos.
Yeah, I'm going to be busy. It feels like Christmas, even though it's not Christmas yet, but it feels like Christmas. Yeah, that was pretty good. Let me see here. You're sending me a message. Why are you sending me a message? Okay. So, I know why. Brandy, I'm going to go back to the chat here and take a look and see what they're saying in here, if that's okay with you,
yes.
to give you a little bit of a rundown here. Let me see here. We go back. RX. Okay, so Retro 7800 can be Retro AF. 7800 could be fun. What games? What game should I get? I have no nostalgia for it. I know you can get like a Donkey Kong, probably a Pac-Man. For it. What game should I get for it? Let me know in the chat room. My buddy Daryl, he's got a lot of Game Gear games for me. Let's go. I have some Game Gears games, not a lot, but I have some, and I also have I redid my Game Gear where I got it recapped. I got an LCD screen, but I kept the original one, so that's cool. Daryl, hopefully over Christmas break, I got 2 weeks off. I am going to make a trip up to your area of New York, and we're going game hunting. That's the hope. Brandy, yes, she wants to look for this. Okay, I want to go back in the chat room because I saw some of you guys were posting about the microphone. I use the what is this here? I use the Fifany also, and they have great quality mics. That's what I'm curious to see, because like you have a $400 mic that I'm using right now. How does that stack up against that microphone? Obviously, you know, you're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing a little over $100 microphone to a $400 microphone. But I think it's good for people wanting broadcast and want to get started. So how about coming to Galloping Ghost Arcade? Isn't that in Chicago? We might be able to do that as to one time in the summer or so. We'll have to see. Akari Warriors and Commando for the 7800. The Gamer Comedian. All right, we'll have to check that out. Because I know I could probably get some of those games fairly cheap, because a lot of people they're not collecting Atari games, and they get rid of them so quick. I was going to ask my buddy. Yeah, I have his hat right here. Check this out. My buddy over at Retro Bliss. Yeah, my buddy Retro Bliss. I'm going to have to ask him. He's a big 7800 fan. Mr. Rightway says you can tell the difference with the microphone, but it's great for voiceovers and other stuff. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. But what I think is going to end up happening, like I said, if my kids can't use it, I'm just going to give it away to somebody in the community. I'll do a video on it, and then maybe we'll do something like here on the show. We'll give it away, and then I'll send it out, because I can't keep all this stuff, and we're gonna kind of get into that here in just a little bit. Desert Eagle on the 7800. Okay, definitely gonna check that out. Okay. Retro AF, he says, I don't have it yet, but I really want Ninja Golf and Fatal Run on the 7800. All right. Retro AF says, you come to Chicago, you better come check out my game room and get some pizza with me. Well, listen, if you're in Chicago and we go there, we would definitely do that. Come see the game room, probably film in your game room if that was cool. And hopefully you'd come with us to the arcade. That would be a lot of fun. We could all go down and have some fun. Like I said, I don't know Chicago. What's better than being in Chicago with people that you know, but people that live there that can walk you through it and, you know, take you, show you the sights, if you will, within that. And obviously pizza, you can't go wrong with pizza, right? You have to get some pizza. So what I want to do, we need to figure out this intervention here, because I don't think, Brandy knows what's coming, because the intervention, there's a lot of people who have sent in video clips.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, I mean, we hear it all the time as creators, as collectors, no matter. And listen, I'll throw myself on a spear right now. Okay, I know we've been giving you a hard time about hoarding video games, but I can honestly say, Brandy, truth be told, my wife will tell you, she's in the chat room, I was a hoarder and still am a hoarder of broadcast equipment. Anytime I get broadcast equipment, I like something in my head triggers and I go, I need to hold on to this. I might need this at some point, or somebody I know might need it. And if I get rid of it, I'm not going to have it to help them with it. And the stuff gets outdated. On the top of my garage, I kid you not, I have a 4 foot by 4 foot box It's still up on top of my garage, of old wires that I had in my old studio from back in 2017 or older. It was the old, those red, yellow, and white cables for standard definition. You plug them in like we use for our consoles. That's how we used to hook up the cameras to the capture cards before HDMI and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a box, I am not kidding you, that is filled to the top, and I haven't used in almost 15 years, but it's on top of my garage because what if somebody needs it one day? And finally, I just said this year, I said in the springtime, we're taking it down and we're throwing it away. If I haven't used it in 10 years, oh well, it's going out for the trash. It's done.
Oh, geez.
So that's where I'm at with it. And some of the broadcasting stuff, that's why I was bringing up about the mic and the headset. These companies reach out to me because of my experience with microphones and headsets. And so I'm like, okay, I'll check them out. But I don't want to keep all this stuff just to keep it. If I can give it to somebody else that needs it or wants it, then that's what I'm going to do. This, if my kids don't want it, then I'm going to give it away to somebody online. I just feel like otherwise you're just going to end up like what we're talking about tonight. You're not collecting, you're hoarding. And I feel like that's where I have stuff behind here, Brandy, that I need to get rid of. Like I have a cow path behind me to walk to my broadcast area because it's got stuff back here that I don't have room for.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us, there's like that fine line. Like if you take video games out of it, I feel like it's very rare for me to want to throw something away because I feel like everything has some sort of value to it. And even like home decor that, you want to get rid of, that you think you want to donate at the thrift store. I'm like, I can get $1 out of it. I can get $2. I could put it at a yard sale. I could put it on Facebook Marketplace. I could do a porch pickup. Like that's like where like my mind goes. Like someone else could use this. I don't want to just throw it in the trash. Like never throw it in the trash. I take stuff to, there's like a couple thrift stores near me, and we just drop the stuff off like every few weeks. Take like random things. I don't even know what it is, like a drying rack or like some box of clothing or something. And it's like that fine line. And then you think back, what were your parents? Were your parents hoarders? Think about like in my era, not quite his, but in my era, you had the parents who collected. See, she just wants to donate stuff. Everything has a value. I can make a couple dollars off of it. And it's like, get out of here. No, but it's like our parents collected or hoarded things. Those home interior decorations. Did anyone's parents have apples in their kitchen or turkeys in their kitchen or some crazy home something like Avon? All those different catalogs. Did your parents do all that stuff? Did they have to buy all that stuff? Like my dad, he like hunts and fishes. He has a collection of certain things. It's like
I have that too.
I feel like I feel like when you're raised in certain hoarder-ish households, not necessarily dirty, but like full of stuff, like full of clutter, I feel like you tend to either go one of two ways. You continue and embrace that and it's more normalized, or you kind of go, you know what? I want a normal, less cluttered, minimalist house. Well, and a lot of us, we pick the other.
Let me ask you, and let's get psychological here before we get to our community answers, because you guys have been great. You sent in, we have three people with 3 different opinions, and they're great opinions, and I agree with a lot of it. That we're going to show, but let's get psychological here. Do you think collectors are born and borderline hoarders because growing up they didn't have a lot, therefore now that they have adult money they can buy this stuff? They may not have time to play it, but they always wanted it, and there's something about it that, as you even said, it makes you feel good when you get down in your game room. It releases some kind of emotion in your body that causes you to get joy out of it, so you want to keep buying more. And the hoarding part of it, the hoarding side of it, if you grew up poor, or if your parents really were not poor but they didn't buy you a lot of things, the hoarder mentality is like it was the fight or flight, right? If you got something, you took care of it, you didn't want anything to go. So therefore, like, you hold on to that mentality as you're older. You were either poor and you didn't have a lot of stuff, so now you have a good job, you want a lot of stuff, or you were raised that when you buy stuff, you take care of it and you just don't get rid of it. What do you think?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that too. So obviously, when you watch a show, Hoarders, a lot of them have been through some sort of traumatic experience that has triggered something. They feel great attachment, to those items. They had a loss and it belonged to someone. Like a lot of those episodes. So like, obviously, we could get into like the psychology of different things, but for a lot of us, whether there was trauma or not, a lot of us are exactly what you're saying. It's that nostalgia. You hold on to the good. You're trying to relive those good moments, those good memories. That time that you played Mario 3 with your cousins, the time that you stayed up late. And then as you're older, you want to relive that same memory that you're holding on to, because of all the craziness in the world. But it's like you're trying to recreate that or hold on to that. And the same with like this room up here, all my toys. It's like I wanted so many of these toys back then. And my parents and my grandparents, they did a great job. I had a good bit of toys come Christmas and stuff, but you always naturally want more. And
Well, that's human nature.
yeah, it's like we all do. I mean, whether it's right or wrong or debate or whatever, but it's like, now when you have a little extra money, or a lot of this stuff was bought before I had a mortgage and before I had other bills and things like that. So like a lot of this was on the cheaper end, and I bought this back then. Like a lot of this stuff.
Let's talk about that for a second. You said about a mortgage, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you define? And I know we're going to get into some of the commentary from the community here, and I'm going to keep pulling up the comments here because I want them recorded on the video. And I'm sorry for those with the podcast. You gotta show up live. But there's a lot of comments. Mm-hmm. But what I want to ask you, talk about this. I think the mentality of a hoarder is they're going to keep buying what they're collecting or what they're buying, like you said, apples or turkeys for their kitchen, or in our case, video games. Regardless if they have bills to pay, they're going to just skip out on their bills and they're going to keep buying video games. That's where I think is the first warning sign that you could be headed toward being a hoarder. If you're not paying your bills and you're buying video games, in our case, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there is, you have responsibilities as an adult, and I've met a few people that I've bought some kiosks and things from, and they were letting things go, and they told me that their addiction, their collecting habits literally consumed them to the point where they were almost homeless.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and I understand that, and a lot of people can go down that path because we all see it, and now everything's so normalized. You look on YouTube and you look on the internet and you see, I just scored this, I just bought this, I just did this, I just did that, and it's like keeping up with the Joneses. If you don't truly enjoy it and you're just trying to do that just to keep up with everyone, you can spiral down a dark path where you're not paying your mortgage. Now you're behind. Now you're in foreclosure. Now you're losing your house. Now your car's getting repoed, or now this or that. And obviously with anything, you could do the same thing with food or other things than video games, but it's
we both had a different response though, if you remember. When when Stephanie lost her job, I said, well, you can always sell some games, and you're like, oh no, we'll find other means. Now on the other side of that, when I had lost my job in September, and I had gotten laid off, believe me, the thought did cross my mind. Like, if we got into trouble, I was going to take some of my more expensive games and sell them. If it meant paying the mortgage, if it meant paying for the car, paying for the electric, I was okay with it. I, honest to God, does that make me a not passionate about this space? No, that makes me be a responsible an adult. And I'm curious as to, because I'm kind of like you. I'm resourceful. I can make money other ways. But what stops you from if you're in a hard place that says no, my collection, I mean, I have to be in a very, very, very dire place for me to get rid of my collection. Not me. Like, if that's the only option, man, it's gone. Like, I wouldn't even think twice. If I have to build it again, I build it again, or maybe I won't build it again. But you, it's a little bit different. Why is it different for you? Not that it's bad. I want to stress that. Not that it's bad. I just want to hear your rationale and your reasoning.
I think in my head, I always kind of considered, like, if things ever did get insanely crazy and I don't know if I could part with the collection unless there were duplicates, unless it was something that I purposely thrifted to make income out of.
Why?
Or I wasn't attached to.
Why don't you think you could part with
the
it?
reason
You're that attached to it, or
yeah, like, I think early on collecting, I said in my head, like, there are rules. And, like, I think everyone has some sort of rules when it comes to their collection. Like, I think because of the amount of time and effort and money that it took me to get some of these items, there are some things that I will never get the same deals again. Like, I will never get a Nintendo 64 kiosk for $150 ever again. And yeah, I could sell it and probably get like over 3 or 4 or whatever grand it goes for at this moment. But I think, to me, I had to make sure that that was untouchable from being sold. Like, I had to, like, write it off in my head that no matter what happened, I would rather sell, like, I don't know, like, cheaper games or something that I could rebuy again. Like, I mean, I won't want to sell this game because I enjoy this game, but, like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, or, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. It's like, I wouldn't want to sell those, but I could always buy those games over again. So it's just like the kiosks and the hard to find items and the super rare items. I got so lucky so early on that I don't think that I could get rid of those items. And I have to think that way because it's like I'm attached to the story behind it, the memories, to the experience of picking it up, to remembering that as a child playing the Nintendo 64 kiosk at, like, Toys R Us or the local stores back in the day.
But
And the same with, like, my N64 collection. I couldn't get rid of those games because I collected the full set and I'm attached emotionally to those items.
But if it meant your family having food on the table, a roof over their head, a way for you to get to work, and you had no other means, no other way, you would still have a hard time parting with it?
Well, I feel like there is another way. I don't think the N64 kiosk is the only way. I feel like
no. I'm not saying that.
obviously
Obviously, there's other
things
things in
got-
your collection that you would get rid of before you would get down to that. Just like me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and go sell stadium events. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that. I understand what you're saying. But I guess what I'm saying is, when push came to shove, you're at your wit's end.
Yeah.
You have no other option. Could you or could you
like
not
the
sell
house
the collection?
burned down and there's one kiosk to sell.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Then obviously, I'd have to do that because.
Okay, so you're not a hoarder then. A hoarder can't do that. That's what I was trying to get at. I feel like that's the threshold. And chat room, tell me if I'm wrong, because it doesn't matter how much stuff she has or where she sticks the stuff. I know the bathroom comments are flying here.
Yeah.
I think if you can't get rid of something, like we watched hoarders on TV, those people downright get on their knees and start crying when somebody tries to throw away a can of soda.
They have the keep, sell, donate, and trash piles. Like, they have different tarps that they have to sort those things, and I feel like everyone kind of has that. Like if I went around this room, I would be able to do that, but I'm telling you that trash pile would be 0 and the donate pile would be 0 because it would either be sell or keep. Like I wouldn't.
But that could be an entrepreneurial mindset.
Have it.
So there's different types of people, right? So forget hoarders, forget collectors. An entrepreneur will say, I can make something out of nothing. That's why they're entrepreneurs. That's why they dream businesses. That's why they are successful at starting up businesses, entrepreneurship. That's what they are. If you could take something in Brandy and say, well, I can make $2 on this, I can make $2 on this, I can make $4 on this. Well, now you're up to $8. So I get that mentality. For somebody like me, when I have stuff like that, I would just rather give it to some of my friends that could use it. That's my mentality because one, it gets it out of my house. And I just don't want to go through the hassle of trying to sell it. Like I watch you on Facebook Marketplace grind selling your aunt's stuff that she gave you to help sell for. And you are a grinder with that. Like you don't mess around. I just don't have the patience for that. And maybe that's where Stephanie's at. Maybe she doesn't have the patience for it. It's just easier just to donate.
Yeah, because I understand everyone's perspective. Like, so for instance, with that, like my uncle had passed, my aunt sorting through some things. I wanted to help her and my cousin, make some extra cash. And then, I get a little bit too. So it's kind of like win-win, given the circumstances. So it's like all of those items I had to sort through. And there were some trash because some things just didn't hold up well in the garage and, they were damaged. But it's like I had to go through, set my time and money and effort aside, and then I have to deal with all of the Facebook Marketplace people. Hey, I know you have this listed for $200. Will you take $5? Hey, would you donate that for free? Hey, what about $150? I can meet tomorrow. Okay, perfect. And then next thing you know, they don't show up or they stop messaging you. And I understand there's like hassle and all that nonsense that goes with it. But I'm at the same time, I'm like, that's $150 more in everyone's pocket. Splitting it 3 ways or splitting it whatever. It's like, that's more money than what I had. And
but you and my wife are a lot alike.
Kind of doing that.
You and my wife are a lot alike. That's how she was raised.
Yeah. And it's like I just think of it as that could fill up my car. That could get food for a week or whatever, if I were to like eat out every day for like lunch, or if I were to go to the grocery store. Like I feel like all that adds up, and that's a couple $100 extra. Whereas I understand it's a lot of work and a lot of hassle and all that stuff, where we could have just donated it and got rid of it and it's done and all that. It's out of the way and it's less headaches and it's less nonsense. But at the same time, I like to think of how this is going to help me grow as a person, grow as, something else, and add into the collection or add to something for the house or something as a necessity. Yeah.
And to Daryl's point, I mean, he's saying, like have a plan. She does have a plan. It's not a public plan, but she does have a plan. It's not public yet, but so I don't think there's a wrong or right way of doing this. And the reason being is you got 2 different personalities, myself and yourself. You do it one way. You do it like my wife would. Mm-hmm. My wife looks at things and I'm like, oh, why don't we just give this to this person? She's like, well, I could sell it for $50 on Facebook Marketplace. That's how she was raised. That's her mentality. Me, I grew up with people giving me stuff because we were, needing at times. So that's how my mentality is. If I have something that I'm doing better than somebody and I can help them, I'll give it to them. And I know Stephanie commented she was, kind of the same way. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this. But before we continue this conversation, Brandy, maybe we should hear from the community and see what they have to say on this. What do you guys think?
Let's go.
Let's hear from Daryl. Let's see what Daryl has to say.
What are your thoughts?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you.
When does it become too much? From collecting to hoarding? For me, it's how much space you have to utilize. If you start taking up more space for things you should be using, like an actual shower stall, instead of putting stuff in there to actually using it as a shower, that's a problem. For me, I've cut down significantly over the years. At one point, I had 3,700 games in my collection. Now I'm down to 600. I've downsized a lot over the years, but also have curtailed my collection to what I want to play and what I'm going to enjoy. And to be honest with you, in my game room, I only have 200 games out that I'm going to enjoy and play, and the rest are in storage. You know, I try to minimize what I'm going to use and enjoy. You know, as if for myself, the reason why I even asked this question in your podcast is sometimes you need to realize when too much is too much. And for me, that's the reason why I cut down like I did. This is Daryl Best signing off. Thank you, and thanks for having me on the podcast. See you soon.
Thank you, Daryl, for sending that in. So, Brandy, how does that make you feel when he says you're a hoarder if you're putting stuff in your bathroom and not using it for its functionality purpose?
Yeah. I have a few other bathrooms that I use for their functionality purpose. I can't even talk.
She's all frazzled. Now,
no, I completely understand that. I really do. I just wish
she's
I had
admitting
a tad bit more space.
Well, just admit.
Yeah,
you're a hoarder.
Problem.
You're a hoarder. You even said it. I told her that.
I know, but what's the next step? Like,
well, that's what we got. That's what we got to get. That's what we got to get to.
But I'm okay with the problem. Like, I'm fine with it.
But like you said, you're not a dirty hoarder. There are like where people pile like they can't throw garbage away. Like that's different.
Like,
yeah.
PCs and buckets. Like, I'm not one of those people. Let me just tell you.
If people knew what your plan was, nobody'd be calling you a hoarder.
Yeah.
At face value, it does look like you're hoarding. It really does. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
It does. And you didn't snap at me and when we talked about this off air and be like, "No, I'm not a hoarder." No, you were like, "Well, no, I am. I'm trying to get as much stuff as I can." But
yeah,
if people knew the reason.
Yeah.
There's so mundane design. You didn't butcher his video this week, did you?
So what I did was I got rid of the captions. I inverted the video backwards because it was backwards when it played. I adjusted a few things. So fingers crossed it is good to go because I don't want to. I'm so sorry, mundane designs. Like, I'm so sorry. Oh,
Stephanie says you got to get a bigger house.
No, the goal is not to have it in the house.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's
all right.
The goal.
Mundane Designs. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, guess what? The logo's right here. It's right here. So, yeah. So, when does gaming become a problem, essentially? When does it become a thing where you're hoarding? For me, it is very much defined by psychology. I actually have a psychology bachelor's of science, and the moment that your collecting habits interfere with your everyday life is the moment that you cross the line into being in trouble and becoming a hoarder. The moment that you decide to go buy a video game instead of paying your bills. The moment that you decide to play video games instead of going to work. All of those are very serious problems, and yeah, that's what I think hoarding is it becomes a problem that gets to the point where it starts interfering with your everyday life and your quality of life. And don't do it, guys. Get help if you actually start reaching that point. If you start considering buying a video game instead of paying for a bill, don't do it. Just back off. You'll be okay.
We were just discussing how, like, the comments in the chat room about Stephanie wanting a bigger house and Brandy's like, good luck. I'm like, I can't even imagine moving with all the stuff that I have. And Brandy's got like 10 times more video game stuff than I have. And it pained me even the video, Brandy, that you did when you had to clean your basement from the water and you had to move all that stuff.
Yep.
That's like a day's worth of work, right? Just moving that stuff.
Oh, it like went on for like days, like after. Like it was pretty bad. And just moving the little bit of stuff that I had, like I probably only had maybe like 5 kiosks or something, and a couple 4 arcade machines and a bunch of video games and stuff, and just moving that into this house. It was a nightmare. Like one of the arcades broke, another arcade broke. I had to pay like $500 some to get it fixed. And then like I painted everything in the basement, and then I realized there were like 3 outlets. So I had to hire a family friend who does like electrical work, and he had to like punch holes in the wall that I had just drywalled and painted. And then he had to add like 15 more plugs, and then add a little breaker box thing, and then it was like so much work. And then I had to like resand and respackle and
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was like all this stuff, and then there was like that mini fire because like a little cap exploded in the Apple II computer. And
Wait a second, you had a mini fire in your game room?
Yeah.
When did this happen? Oh, do tell.
I've had earth, wind, and fire, like, and water. Like, I thought
Wow.
Cat Planet was coming together. Like, I don't even know what was going on in my basement when I first moved in. Like, I have like nightmare videos on my channel. They're probably unbearable to watch because it was terrible editing and I sounded a little confused. But in those videos, but yeah, I had like a little mini like fire and smoke going in the little computer, and then I had like electrical cord melt or something at one point when I plugged in the Christmas tree. I mean, there's just like a lot of horrors when it comes to having stuff. So yeah, I'm very diligent when I look around now. I have to make sure that everything is like unplugged, and when I have people over for Friendsgiving, I'm turning on everything. Every kiosk, every arcade, everything will be on, every light.
Well,
I'll take some footage and stuff, and that's when I like test everything, just to like make sure everything's up and running, everything's good to go, nothing gets power tripped or anything like that.
Well, before we get into OWAS, and this is what I wanted to bring up. This isn't, we're joking about this as an intervention for Brandy. It's not an intervention for Brandy. And I agree, Jason, we do this because we love this. My wife knows I collect this stuff because I love it and because I enjoyed it. It makes me happy. It makes my kids happy. It makes my kids' friends happy when they come over here. It makes friends of ours happy, family happy when they all come over here. Mm-hmm. I thoroughly enjoy this stuff.
Yes.
So there's a trend going on right now in the retro game community, if you haven't seen it, where guys are selling off their collections.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the reason they're selling off their collections is not because they're hoarders, is not because they need money. They're selling it off, Brandy, because they're falling out of love with the collecting process of games. There's other things in this world that they want to do. Maybe there's other things in this world that they want to collect. And I hate to say it, but what it's turning into is it's almost turning into like peer pressure that other people that are collecting, well, I'm selling off my stuff and I'm getting rid of my stuff, so you should too. That's the way it comes off on some YouTube videos of people that I saw a couple videos come out this week on stuff like that. And I think people in the chat room can say there's some creators out there who are like, oh, I'm selling off this, I'm starting over, I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. Yeah. And that's cool. If they're starting over and they want to do a video journey to show you, to go through, that's cool. I'm down with that. Whatever makes you happy. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take a page out of Neo Ness's book. He always says, collect and play the way that you want to do it. And that's where I think the answer is to all this. Collect and play the way you want to do it, not the way I want to do it. I'm going to do it differently. And Brandy, I'm not going to collect the same stuff that you are. I'm not going to go out and buy all these toys because I have no interest in it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like someone was complaining on Facebook about game rooms and how people have these museum style game rooms and they don't play their stuff and it's not for them. And I was like, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I love seeing game rooms because you can really tell. It doesn't matter what you have. You can have the basic of games, you can have the most expensive games. I love seeing game rooms because you see what that person takes pride in. You see how they display those items, how they care for those items, and how they enjoy it. And I know that there's bigger problems in the world, but we're all here with the love of video games, and I get it. They always say, you know, you will own nothing and be happy, and less is more, and yada yada. But it's like, at the same time, if you're passionate about something and you really enjoy it, whether you play the stuff or not, and your intended goal is to try and play, and you're not always just for money, it's like, you're not wrong. Like, just enjoy and do what you want. As long as you make smart financial decisions and you learn from your mistakes, because we've all overspent, or we've all done things a little, you know, impulse buys, and we've all done those things. But it's like, you have to learn from those mistakes, and you have to kind of take a step back and know what your priorities are. And like, obviously I joke, but video games aren't number one. Like, there's other things to life.
Yeah.
But I know I joke, and I know I say that video games are my life, and I couldn't part with things and all that. It's just, it's hard thinking about getting rid of things when you've kind of like, I know it sounds crazy, but when you've like turned this into like your enjoyment, your baby,
but
like
I
your
understand.
pride, your joy.
I understand that because you've been collecting longer than I have with the video games. I can't relate to the video game side of it yet, but I can relate to the broadcast side, because I have things that when I look back and I really shot up in subscribers, and certain things help me get to that next level in broadcasting, I don't want to get rid of that stuff. And there's stupid things, like I have a camera over here that my grandmother gave me the year she passed away at Christmas time, and I won't get rid of it. Some might say, well, that's a hoarder mentality. There's memories attached to that. Okay, and it sounds kind of funny, and some people are just like, whatever. But the thing that I have the problem with is people making YouTube a place that says, well, I'm getting out of collecting, so now you have to get out of collecting. I don't like that. I feel like if you want to get out of collecting and you don't want to do video game collecting anymore, and because your interests aren't there, that's fine. Do it. If you want to downsize and you want to become a reseller, and that's something that's going to bring you joy, and you want to go out and open up your own store, go to conventions and sell your collection, well, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
But I also think that my stuff down here, the basement's mine. I can pretty much do whatever I want with it outside of the laundry room. My wife doesn't care. Well, my wife doesn't care. She's like, do whatever you want. Now, that R2-D2, I just did a video on that I put together. Mm-hmm. Is that gaming related? No. But it's something I enjoy. I love Star Wars. Star Wars is one of my things. So my wife was cool because it has Christmas decorations, because my little one loves it, to leave it up there during Christmas time. But then I'm going to bring it down. It's going to be over here where if you guys seen my room tour, right over here where the X Arcade is. I'm actually trying to trade the X Arcade away for some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, because I just don't have any use for it. Nobody plays it. And I have all these other arcades, so I'd rather keep it. So that I have no nostalgia with it, so I'll trade it. I'll get rid of it for something I want. I was telling Brandy, before we get to Owaz here, I have some broadcast gear that somebody needs and they want, and it's $5,000 worth of broadcast gear. And I said, well, how about this? I give it to you for $2,000 because I want to try to make a quick sale with it. The reason being is I want to buy that Flintstones game. That's $1,300. Yeah. So, Brandy, I'm getting rid of some of the stuff that I don't really need, that's just sitting here collecting dust, that I can get for my collection, that I'm not taking money away from the family or, out of our paychecks and things like that. Just like Destination Switch. Like Marcus, we all know him. He's in the chat room. He's giving me a hard time right now. But he got rid of all his retro collection because he wanted to start a different collection. He wanted to go into the Switch completely, just focus on Switch. That's the way he wants to collect, and that's the way he wants to play. Yeah.
And no one should give him a hard time over it, because it's what he enjoys doing, and like that's the thing. No one's right and no one's wrong. It's like, well, I guess you kind of are all right in your own way, because it's like, you don't have to go for certain things just because everyone else are doing them.
That's right.
And if you have no more need or want for something, you're able to sell it. You're able to do whatever you want with those items. And, just like people are saying, we become hoarders when we are going for complete sets, question mark. Not necessarily, because if you're going for like a Virtual Boy complete set, I mean, the library is so small that does that accumulate as a hoard, or is that just a small set? Does it depend on like the amount? So it's just like everyone has their own definitions on what,
true.
I guess goes back and forth.
My wife would probably call me a hoarder for sports jerseys. In her closet, because I don't have enough room in my closet for my clothes, if I put all my jerseys in there from all the teams that I like, going all the way back to when I was a teenager, I have jerseys, basketball, football, hockey, baseball, going all the way back. I know Destination Switch, he always wears like basketball jerseys to conventions and things like that. I bet you I have more jerseys than he has. Because that was the thing. I collected growing up. Sports were everything. We did everything with sports, and my brother and I had friends and stuff. And so, to this day, I mean, I'm watching a basketball game right now because it's on while we're doing the show here. But that's just something that nobody sees from me because I don't really make that very evident.
Yeah.
But I think to an extent, something out of the norm, Brandy, back to your point, is some people could say you're a hoarder if you have 10 items in a let's use jerseys as an example, or 10 games for a Nintendo. They could say you're a hoarder because they don't agree with it. Yeah, because they wouldn't do that in their house because they're one of those people that just have like, you go into the living room, they got like 5 magazines on their coffee table and nothing else is in their living room but a coffee table, a TV, and it's a small TV at that, and like a couch and another couch. That's it. That's all that's in their room. Like they're minimalist, right?
Can I just throw a little dig at Stephanie if she's still watching? We have this thing. It's like a ladder rack, okay? And you put blankets on it. You can't touch the blankets. You can't use the blankets. They are for display only.
Oh yeah, my wife has those too. No, my wife has display only pillows and display only blankets. You cannot use them for anything else.
You can't touch them. You can't unfold them. They're clean, but you can't touch them.
Does Stephanie put them over a ladder? Does she put them over one of those ladders? Like my wife has a ladder.
It's a ladder rack.
That's what we have.
It's like a ladder.
Yep. That's what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. So
it's my wife's grandma's quilts.
10 blankets, you're a hoarder. Got it.
She made her grandmother made the quilts. We got one when we were married, and I think she got one when she graduated, and nobody's allowed to touch them. You can look at them. You can unfold it and look at it, but you can't touch it. And I get it because grandma made it.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
I understand too. I mean, I don't have any emotional attachments to the blankets, but they sure are nice and soft, but I don't have any emotional.
Marcus,
I'd sell those.
I forgot. I'm sorry, Marcus. That's your uniform. My apologies on the wearing the jerseys and the basketball stuff to the convention. That is your uniform. My apologies. But you know why? You know why, right? You know why he's going after me, right? We all know why. But we're not going to talk about why. All right, let's get on to hoarding versus collecting, and this is from Owaz. Let's see what he has to say. I'm very curious myself.
When does hoarding? Hold on. Okay. When does hoarding become collecting? Or no. Collecting becomes hoarding. Yeah. Well, when you get to the point where you can't get anywhere in your house because you got too many boxes laying around, whether they're full of stuff, waiting to be filled with stuff, I think that's a good sign. If it starts impacting your personal life, if you used to have people over and you don't have people over anymore because you don't want them to see the clutter, the mess, if you have troubles getting around a room or rooms in your house because all you have is a little path to get from point A to point B. I mean, it's still somewhat functional, but I'd say if it's impacting your daily life or it's impacting your life in general, then it might get to be a problem. And I think as collectors, there's a problem that we have to be aware of, because I think all of us have hoarding tendencies, holding on to something past its usefulness. As video game collectors, its usefulness is to display and put on a shelf. But if you can't display it and you're storing it in a box and not do anything with it, that might start verging on hoarding. If it's to a point where you get stressed out when you think about getting rid of any of it, then that could be a problem too. But it's really just, I think something we all need to be aware of as collectors, because it could definitely easily turn into something more than just collecting. Because, if you've got duplicates and other stuff and you can't get rid of them because you're stressed out about it or it makes you feel anxious, it might be time to, get some kind of help. Get someone to come in and do the cleaning for you so you don't have to watch them do it. But I think that's a pretty quick way of saying it. It's just when it starts to impact your life and it's detrimental to your life. And I think you could go on with that and branch off where you would like, but when it gets to be a problem and it's affecting how you live your life, and I don't mean you go to conventions and stuff, because that's part of the way we live our lives as collectors, but as it impacting on, like, if I couldn't have anything displayed, if it was all in boxes and there was no way to get into the game room or into the bedroom or into a bathroom, it could be a problem. And not that I didn't just have a couple boxes laying around that I could, use for demonstration purposes, but, there's always that box too. It's like, oh, that's a nice box. I could use that later on. Nice and sturdy. So Walsrum, signing out.
I liked his point of view. I thought he had a really good point of view about the cow paths and everything. And I mean, because hoarders that are like, I know people that, it's sad, but I know people like that.
I've been in many houses like that where you wish you could help, and I know we're lightly talking about something that could be some sort of serious. So I hope no one thinks that we're making fun or poking.
No, not at all.
With this serious topic of because
we get accused of it all the time. I mean, you get probably accused of it more than anybody, I would think.
Yeah, I just got accused of something else today. A very nice, lovely comment. It was in a different language, and when I hit the translate to English, they pretty much, all right, I'll just share it. They pretty much said, quote, these are the comments that I get. "You're pretty. I think your subscriber count will increase quickly if you go on a diet. I'm sorry if I offended you." I was like,
wow.
Thanks for that. But no, it's like you make light of these serious topics or these comments that are negative. That's kind of what we do when we're talking about this. And like you said, with the boxes everywhere and the paths and all of that. And then we also got a comment of, it becomes a problem if you feel ashamed rather than proud to show off what you have. Now, I was just talking to you about this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having people come over for this Friendsgiving. And if you walked into my house, you would literally see a normal house, a normal living room, a normal dining room, a normal kitchen, normal main floor bathrooms, and upstairs bedrooms. Like, all of that stuff is normal. It is spotless. Like, it is very clean down from the baseboards to the tops of the walls. That's how clean the house, is. Very organized, very minimalistic, etc. I was telling you, I felt a certain way, and I felt like this could be, really talked about. We all have like these hoarder piles in our game rooms, or a lot of us do. If you're a content creator, you have piles of things that need to be filmed. You have stacks of things. And as I'm looking around my toy room and my game rooms in the basement, like my whole basement, I'm proud of my collection overall. And most collectors would be proud to come into these rooms and they would look past a couple of these piles. But when you have non-gaming collector people coming to your house and they're seeing your stuff for the first time, I wouldn't say it's shame that I have. It's, like you saying, we all have those like tendencies to become a little worse. I just always get a little nervous of what someone might think, essentially, of like this pile that I have to the one side of my computer desk, and then this pile here. They're just the piles of things that didn't fit on these shelves that I have. And I'm sure I could scramble and put them some places, and I can make them look a little bit better. But I don't want there to be shame. I don't want someone to say, oh, look at that bathroom in the basement. Look how, hoarderish that is.
But do you have like staging areas? Like so I have a staging area for videos and whatnot. In fact, you were saying about you don't want people to feel, you don't want to feel ashamed. Like people know when they come over, like I have my stuff set up like this, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I double this as an area for the show where I show all the product that, we're talking about. But this is like my staging area where I put stuff that I need to do videos on. The thing that you have in your room right there, do you consider that a staging area where you have it there and then it kind of migrates to wherever it's going to go after you do a video on it?
Yeah, in the basement, yes. But I took down the table and like the chair that I had set up there because that took up too much space. So I moved the table and the chair. I like folded. They're just little folding ones, and usually I have stacks of like GameCube pickups and Nintendo pickups and this and that and the third, and some other things that I have to like review or take pictures of. So now they're just kind of like on the floor, and I'm sure I could put them away real quick, and I could pull them back out. But it's like this pile right here is literally, it's like the webcam that I have that I have to get hooked up here.
The one I gave you for almost like a year ago?
I know. So that's there. And then I have a collector's edition that I got from one of my dad's friend's brothers who works on Elder Scrolls and all these different games. Like,
is it the stigma?
Like, I just have piles.
Is it the stigma that bothers you when people come in? It's not so much that you have quote unquote clutter there. It's the stigma that surrounds gamers in general, that they're bottom dwellers. They live in their mom's basements. They don't have good hygiene. They don't take care of themselves. They might have a foul odor about them.
Yeah.
That's not every gamer. I mean, I don't consider myself one of those types of gamers. I feel like I am the epitome of a collector, just like you. We are not like gamers like my son is. My son will live in his bedroom. He will not come down and take a shower unless we tell him to. Now, he is 13, and I do expect that. But there are 20-something-year-old, I won't even just say men, because the women will do it. They won't move. They have bottles there, like old Gatorade bottles that they'll fill up so they don't have to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't consider anybody in this chat room of that genre of gamer.
Yeah. We're not like to that extreme, I would say. It's like, I just, you always want to make like great impressions, and you always want people to like be like, wow, for having that much stuff, she sure does a good job. So it's like always, I guess it is kind of like that stigma, not always.
Yeah, because gamers are like looked upon as delinquents. They're not hard workers. They don't contribute to society.
Yeah. No, plus I want everyone to see everything. Like,
right way. No, we went to.
It's like.
We went to Olive Garden at one of the conventions, and Steve was there, and my son ate everybody.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. There was even
I remember you guys talking about
there was even a bigger gentleman that was there, and he was all about it, and he's like, dang, your son ate me. And then my son like had to go to the bathroom in the middle of it, and then he ended up eating more. Well, yeah. But it was just funny that
he's just a growing boy. That's what they do. They just eat and eat and eat, and then.
But I've never been.
When you're younger, your metabolism's good.
I've never been to your house, and I've never like just in a little bit of time I've spent with you and Stephanie in conventions. You're not dirty people. You're not what I would consider a hoarder, dirty hoarder people. Like you can tell those people. I can go to a convention and pick those people out. Like you could just see it.
Yeah,
like I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, usually you can like smell. I mean, the jokes there of you need deodorant at a convention, and people always talk about more people need to bring deodorant, yada yada, and,
Oh, yeah.
and personal hygiene, and we always hear that stigma because we've smelled it at conventions.
Oh, yes.
You can totally tell.
But
it's like, all jokes aside, it's.
I'll be honest.
I don't think any of us are like that.
When I watched your video for the first time, because when I stumbled upon you in the previous life here of where you were before this, and I was kind of checking you out to see because everybody that was on the podcast that time, I wanted to learn a little bit about them, and I watched your game room. The first thing that came to my mind, because I was showing my wife, was not like, oh my gosh, this girl is a hoarder. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl's been collecting for a long, long time. And I'm like, how did she get this stuff? Like, where do you find this stuff? Like, I never once thought like, oh my gosh, she's a hoarder. She's a dirty gamer that lives in a bit. I was like saying to my wife, I was like, man, she must have a pretty good job because some of those games are pretty expensive. And then you would get to tell them like, oh, I bought this like 15 years ago before the price skyrocketed and this and that. And I think it's just a self-conscious thing, Brandy, that maybe you have, that you just automatically think that people are thinking the worst of your collecting habits. Maybe.
I think too. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be too. I mean, obviously you've heard some of the terrible comments and stuff that I get and all of that, and that's a daily thing. Like I get all of those, all the time, and maybe it's like you listen to some of them in a way, but you also like don't pay them any mind. But like maybe secretly some of it does get to you a little. Like it's like human nature. We're always like that, and you want to strive towards perfection, and you always want to do a little better than before. And maybe I am a little OCD at times, or precise, or meticulous.
Well, can I add to that real quick? Because my wife just texted me and she says, she might even put it in the chat room, but she texted me. She says, I was impressed by how organized everything looked in Brandy's game room, to be quite honest. That was the first thing that that came to her mind when she saw your game room. That's what she just texted me. She might even put it here in the chat room. But I mean, but that's what I'm saying. I think we get to overthinking this stuff.
Yeah. I think also too, like we start to go like numb to things. Like we've talked about this before when it comes to like rare and expensive games, because we see these things all the time. We start to think about like when I look at my shelf, I don't always get all hyped up over Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Is it really extremely rare? Really not. Like there's a lot of them out there. You can go on eBay at any time, but everyone hypes this stuff up. This is rare. This is expensive. This is that. This is that. And then, yeah, of course, sometimes I do like glance over, the 1 out of 3 that exists in the world of Sprocket, Rocket Robot on Wheels, the prototype for the N64. So it's like, yeah, I glance over things because it's like you start to become numb to these things. Like you look at this stuff and it gets lost in it when you have too much stuff. And I kind of am seeing that at times. It's like, so that's why I love when people come over who either know a little or don't know as much, and then they start pointing things out, and then it's like that joy comes back, and I'm like, oh wow, you think that's cool? Look at this, look at that. Oh, you'll love this. And it's like you get that spark back when more and more people come over, and that's what I'm kind of like excited for this weekend.
You just hit the nail on the head, because my wife will tell you the biggest thing. People always ask, well, why do you have every console hooked up? Because this is what I want. When somebody comes over on game night, just like when we had the kids over here from my daughter's drumline, and they're like, oh, do you have this game? Yes. And their face lights up and they're like, oh my gosh, I remember playing this, even though they're younger and it might have been like 10 years prior, but we were in our prime playing these games, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so retro. Like, I remember playing it. Or like when a friend that's not into video games, but played video games as a kid comes over and it's like, man, there was this real weird Nintendo game I grew up with. And like, you take this little base and it would bounce, and the ball would bounce back and forth and hit the blocks. And I'm like, oh, Arkanoid. And they're like, yeah. They're like, I'm like, yeah, I have that game. And they're like, oh, we got to play that. You got to play. And then they start playing it, and it's automatically like, oh, I remember coming home after school playing this game. That is what drives me on this stuff. And I think if people, like, I don't know if people didn't come over to my house, I don't know if the collection would be as big as it is. Because I would feel like I'm not doing it justice because nobody's getting to see it. But I think when people get to come over to see it, they feed it. Right?
Yeah, and that's like another thing too. Like, you know, people always say, oh, the big crash, the boom, the whatever. If everything dropped in value today, if everything is worth $0, would you be happy that you have what you have, or would you regret every single thing? I think that's a main question you kind of have to have too. Like, if all this stuff was literally $0 and I lost out on all the money that I put into this, I would still love all of it. Because I'm not doing it immediately just to, like, flip, resell, get rich off of. And I would still buy more
but we're not
if it was worth, like, nothing.
But we're not doing it to make the people happy. I see some comments in the chat room saying, like, I've just gotten to the point where I just don't care what people think. Obviously, we don't care what people think, or we would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you don't care what people think. You're doing it because you love it. And you're going to continue doing it because you love it.
Yeah, because if I did what people thought, like this guy thought, obviously, the reason why I don't have all the subscribers is because I'm fat and I need to lose weight. That's what the guy told me pretty much today on the comment. If I cared what people thought, I would literally take that into account. Don't you think 37 million comments before that, I would have addressed the issue? No. So it's like, I don't care what people think. The haters are going to hate. They're going to think that I have too much clutter. I should have sold all this stuff. It's all useless. I look the way I look. I do this. I do that. I mean, you just have to literally, like, brush that stuff off. You have to make sure that you're enjoying life for whatever little time you have left in the world, and you just have to go on with it. You just have to be happy each day that you wake up.
That's
and
right.
know that, you know, you're doing things that you enjoy and you're living life to the fullest. Like, that's literally what you have to do.
That, and I think as long as you're being responsible with it, my wife will tell you, as soon as I got laid off, I was like, well, I'm not buying any video games for a while because obviously you got to be responsible. If you have the money to buy this stuff and you're being responsible and your bills are being paid and your mortgage isn't going overdue and you're not past due on your car payments and they're coming to repo your car, who cares? If, you know, there's people that go out and spend $10 every day to buy a cup of coffee from Starbucks because they got to have a coffee mocha moolah, whatever, French dip, tip, flipped, swirled, whatever it is. Or in Brandy's case, the Frappuccino here things or whatever, these colada things from Dunkin' Donuts, right? You know,
the refreshers.
Refreshers, thank you. You go to
Not that I know or drink those.
Yeah, you go to Dunkin' Donuts, you spend $5 to $6, you know, every day. Or people that smoke, they spend, you know, $10 a day on packs of cigarettes. I don't even know what they cost. Maybe they're a lot more, maybe they're less.
You don't get any resale value out of that, or alcohol. You get zero resale value, and a lot of things like that people do that are habits. And
lottery tickets, people. You know, it makes them happy. Who cares?
Yeah. So it's like it is what it is. So it's like you pick your poison. You know, you want to collect toys, stuffed animals, video games, and useless tech one day. You know, you go for it. If you want to go out there and buy that sugary drink from Dunkin' because it gives you an energy boost or whatever,
or you just want to have something. Yeah, my wife enjoys going to get it, and I don't mind it. Once a week, you know, we'll treat ourselves to something like that. We have the money, so we do it. No big deal. My wife said in the phone chat here to me, she says, referring to the gentleman that told you needed to go on a diet, she says, it is because they're too much of a coward to step up and step out and do something risky, challenging, so they have to put down and criticize everyone else who dares to do so. The other thing is, I think with that same person is he's probably never talked to a woman in person.
Yeah.
Okay. Never gone out with a woman, so he doesn't know how to treat a woman, so therefore he could just be a keyboard warrior. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about people like that. At the end of the day, if you want to buy 50 million bobbleheads, you go right ahead,
exactly.
girl. You buy 50 million bobbleheads.
I'm pretty sure I do pretty sure I do have that one too. I went on a spree and I bought a bunch of the sports ones. I have to double check. There was one that I lost the bid on, so I don't know if it was the Tom Brady one or another PS2 era one. So I'll have to double check. But I should have majority of them. So if I don't have that one, I'll have to order that. You know me, I can't say no to a good bobblehead.
Well, we're gonna have to wrap this up. We're probably gonna we'll recap this next week. If you guys have any thoughts on this and you didn't get a chance to send it in, please do so. Get it out to Brandy or myself, and we'll play it next week. Or if you have a game room tour that you want to give us, you want to show us your hoarding palace, send it out to us. We would love to see that. Or if you just want to weigh in on some of the topics that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, we'll have a new topic next week. But I think we'll put a pin in it with this, Brandy. We're going to take Neo Ness's, and we had said it already. I think we're going to say it again. His tagline: "People, just collect and play the way you want to collect and play." And we'll leave it at that, because that just, he says it at the end of every video, and it's so true. And I think that's the best way to put a button and a pin in this, is just do what makes you happy. If that makes you happy, if getting lottery tickets make you happy and collecting is not your thing, then buy yourself some lottery tickets.
And if you win, don't forget about that.
That's right.
We encouraged you.
We have super chats. We have super chats.
I'm fine with just a bobblehead. Like, any of them. Cool. They're great stuff.
So absolutely. You know, I the more and more we started getting out, I was like, man, that sounds like, it just fits it right. This has been an eye opener. Ultrabox 64. Awesome. That's why we're doing these topics outside of being a different video game podcast, not talking about the same mundane things. Listen, there's a lot of great podcasts out there where people talk about the news and they're talking about what's going on with this company and that company. Brandy and I purposed, when we discussed this, we wanted to be different. We wanted to talk about different things in the gaming industry, but that anybody could sit down and have a discussion about. So, Brandy, what's going on? What videos do you have or gotta get out?
I know. I gotta get them edited. I have a couple videos from back around my birthday. I went out shopping, and some GameCube and NES, Super Nintendo. I got like some games at a couple different places. They're already filmed. I'm just working on editing them. I'm hoping one comes out either tomorrow or Friday or something. And then after that, I'll be, back on track a little bit more. I have some shorts and stuff too. Just some things. Oh, I have something big coming. Talking about being responsible and whatever.
She was irresponsible.
So we're gonna end this on this note, okay? So,
don't give too much. Don't give too much away.
No, I won't.
Okay.
You have to have something when it literally keeps you up at night. When you keep thinking back to Pittsburgh, go Pittsburgh, Gaming Expo, and you saw a game in a case, and you saw how rare it was, and you saw how good of a price it was, but you just didn't have that money at that time. But ever since Pittsburgh, I've been setting aside a little bit here and there, and I've been selling some plants and other things, on Facebook.
Wait, I had a hand in this too, because I got you the connection from Pittsburgh
you did.
to find this.
Because I was thinking about this thing. You'll have to see, because it hasn't shipped yet. I gotta make sure it shows up and it's real and all that. I didn't just send a bunch of money to someone. But
that would suck.
Really, it was probably your email. I sent it to you, and you're a couple $1,000s richer, right? Is that how that?
Yeah, well, you didn't send it to me, that's for sure.
Okay, I'll just make it to her. So, anyway, I have been thinking about it since then, and I knew that this deal was too good to be true, like to pass up. So you got me the connection with the convention owner, reaching out to the place, and I'm hoping it's in the mail already, or maybe it will be after this weekend. And you guys really have to stay tuned, because I never thought I would own this, because I had a chance a long time ago. It was a missed opportunity. I've been thinking about it. I have some of the other rare stuff that goes with it. It's like a lot of cool stuff. You have to see it. So that's what I'm working on. And I was so excited. I'm so glad. It's totally worth it. I was financially responsible, and I did purchase this. I could totally afford to purchase this one thing. And,
Nice.
I'm going to slow it probably the rest of the year.
So Daryl just gave us our topic for next week. He says, "Oh, I got a question. Next week, what's the hidden cost of going to a game convention?"
Your sanity. No, I'm kidding.
That'll be a fun topic to go over. Let's do that.
Okay, let's do it.
What's the hidden cost of going to a gaming convention?
Yeah.
We never discussed that. We talked about going to gaming conventions, but we never talked about that.
But not like the specifics.
We didn't get into specifics.
Yeah, we could.
Let's do that. Thanks, Daryl. I
And then-
appreciate that.
Yeah, and I know Chase had one too. Earlier up in the.
Oh, I didn't see
chat.
which one. What did he say? Because we could throw that into the mix too for another week. I went to.
Yeah, it'll be another one because I have to take time to get this together. But he said future video topic: organization and staging tips or curation tips.
Oh,
helpful
that's good.
ideas or solutions.
We could do that as a live show too. I think for a podcast to talk about staging and understanding that. So yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, I love when people come up with ideas. Because
Yes,
you guys are why we're talking, we're interacting. You guys are keeping this.
send your
going
videos.
strong.
Send your videos like you've seen, even up and down, sideways. We don't care. Microphone, no microphone, edited, not it. Listen, we want to hear from the community. We don't want it just to be about us. That's why we're all game masters. That's why we're doing this. And listen, if you have a channel, this is a great way to promote your channel. You can get it out to people that maybe you're trying to get your channel to grow. So, Brandy's got that coming up. I just put out a video today with the R2D2 that I got from Home Depot. It has nothing to do with video games, even though it's going to end up in my game room. But the thing is stinking cool. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, it's Brandy. It's almost 1-to-1. I mean, it's stinking cool. Like,
Yeah, it's like my height exactly.
it pretty much. Well, I was thinking it's actually the height of Brian.
Oh, okay.
Retro Trade, Brian Retro Trade.
Okay.
Him and R2 about the same are about the same height. Yeah. So Brian, if you're watching this, I found your twin. We've just got to put a Mario hat on R2, and you're probably about the same size.
Resemblance. I do.
Do you see the resemblance? Like, you're taller than Brian Retro Trade, so he's like one of the people that you are taller than. So
yeah.
Awaz, next week's video. Don't forget to put your logo in. So yeah, get your videos into us. If you want to weigh in on the conversation, promote your YouTube channel. We don't care. The audience doesn't care. We love it. So if you didn't watch my video today, go check it out. Brandy's got a few videos up there. Any parting words, Brandy? We've gone almost 2 hours, but it was a good topic.
I could talk about this all night. I think we should do a little no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Maybe over New Year's we could do like something where we do an all-night podcast where we just take calls and we could do a donate-a-thon if people wanted to call in, and I don't know, we could do something weird. I don't know.
But you'll have to take your nap first.
Oh, you know me. I'll have my cups of coffee or something. We could do something weird like that, but
yeah,
maybe we'll do that. We'll see.
No, but in all seriousness, guys, you have to enjoy what you're doing, no matter what it is in life. You have to find joy out of the simplest of things, and you can't listen to all the negative people out there. And I know this was like a more serious topic at points, and I know we're trying to keep this, a little lighthearted at times. It's always good to talk about these things because, like people were saying, it's just like you have to really take note because you could quickly spiral, and we all could. And that's why we're all part of this community and we're all together. We help each other out. And, you guys keep me in check. I'm working on the bathroom. I know. I have a video for you guys. Not this episode, but I have a video. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
So CC Games said you could always have some guests. I know a guy that owns a game store. That was something when we first started doing this podcast, we talked about it. Like, everybody does guests. And again, we wanted to be different. We wanted to try it and see how it would go with just the two of us going through it. It's not that we're anti-guests, because obviously we go to conventions, we do guests. I
like the guests at the conventions. I do.
I was just going to say, we actually did an episode of the Game Masters that you're going to see over the holiday with our first guest ever, where it's the three of us and we're discussing a topic. So you're not going to want to miss that. But I think right now we kind of like when we can get a bunch of people sending videos in and showing it. I think that it brings a lot to the show, and it kind of helps us go. I don't know. Maybe the future will hold that we'll bring guests on. I don't know. But as of right now, like we've kind of been enjoying. I don't want to speak for you, but I've kind of enjoyed our banter back and forth with the live chat room. I mean, what you know?
Yeah, I like how it's like a little bit different, but I'm not opposed to it in the future. I think I definitely like the idea of what we were doing. You guys let us know too when you see our Christmas episode and our New Year's episode or around those times. Definitely let us know what you guys think about those episodes, and even just the ones that you do at the conventions, the live footage that we've done. Just let us know what you guys think. But we're always open to different ideas and different things, or even if it's like a portion of something or like different little segments. Like we're open to whatever you guys think. Definitely let us know. I mean, no criticism is too harsh. I mean, you see the comments I get on the daily.
Yeah, and we're not
pretty sure you guys.
Yeah, guests from the community would be cool. Yeah, I mean, again, maybe if we did like a monthly episode with a guest, I mean, maybe that's something. It wouldn't be a weekly thing. I could tell you that, because like everybody does the weekly things, and then what happens is you end up recycling guests. And from a broadcasting standpoint, I'll put my broadcaster's hat on. You build up camaraderie. If you go back and look at Brandy and I's first episode, there was a lot of like. It was weird. It was like a push-pull conversation. And if you go back and watch it after I say push-pull, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. At the time, she doesn't know my style. I don't know her style. And it's like, it was really hard for us in the beginning to kind of get a feel. But then after episode 2 or 3, we got into a groove. People started like, we're joking around. We had the camaraderie that we have now.
Yeah, and sometimes you lose that when you...
Yeah.
Not that, like, you don't know the guests that you have on, but sometimes it is just a little bit difficult because you don't know how their style is, you don't know what equipment they're using, there's, like, so many different factors, and when I've been on other podcasts that we won't mention, it's like, sometimes I literally felt like I was an outsider, and I was just sitting there like, I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Like, so it's just like, I don't know. We don't want that. We want this to be like
we want it to be different.
Open, inviting,
a
little different. And that may come in time, too, with other people. Like, it might be our live show things, or if we're up on stage. I mean, it really just depends on the settings.
Again, the whole podcast was derived from a lot of planning, and again, we're not anti-guests. It's just that we're trying to be different because we want to give you a reason. My state, look at it's telling me it's time to go. My soundproofing is falling off. I got to put new tape on it. Anyways, look, it's hanging down. Look, it's falling down. It's like I have to retape that on there. See, my whole soundproofing is falling off. I fixed it. The whole premise of this is we want people, like, if you're subscribed to other people doing gaming podcasts, we want you to still subscribe to us and be subscribed, because say like, oh, well, the Game Masters, they do completely different content than XYZ podcast. That's what we're going for. And at the end of the year, when we have the 2 weeks off, we've already talked about it. We're going to go over some things and go like, how can we take it to the next level and be even more different than other people? You know, not saying that cookie cutter is bad. For us, it's bad. We want to do something different. That's right. I mean, that's what you and I discussed from day one. We didn't want to be like everybody else. We wanted to try to talk about things that were different.
Yeah, and not that anyone's right or wrong. This is just something. This is kind of how we like it, and we like how other people do theirs. And it's just like, we just want it to be a little different. We want to try different things. We're open to. Well, just wait. I got something.
She's working on something. Hopefully next week.
Just wait. Yeah, it's supposed to be this week, but next week for sure. Once the Friendsgiving
Listen,
is
I got.
over,
I'll work on
okay.
something even. Yeah, I'll work on something else to put in for the end too. I literally threw that in there, guys. Just so you know, I threw that in there just to see if it took. If you guys thought it was funny, and the response in the chat room, we sit here and watch the response when it comes up, and you guys crack me up every time you wait for it. So. Again, we appreciate everybody coming out. We've kept you guys too long. It's 2 hours. This podcast is 2 hours. I can't believe you guys are still here. We're going to close out. We appreciate everybody being here. Leave your feedback in the comments. That's why we have them here. Let us know what you want. No pressure. Again, we always say, like, I think, Brandy, you and I ask for content like some content creators ask for super chats. Like, honest to God.
We don't ever ask for this.
We don't ask for that stuff. We'll never ask for that stuff.
We want more videos because
we want to involve the community. But other people, they're like, so we pump
no,
that.
Pay us.
Yeah, pay us. We're like, no,
send
us videos.
Free content.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, we really appreciate it. We hope you have a great weekend. We will see you next Wednesday. It's only 3 a.m. We're Ultra Boxes. We'll see you next week for more of the Game Masters. Have a great weekend. Oh, that was a good show. That was a long show. What are you doing here? The show's over. What are you doing? Go away. What are you doing? Do you see this? Look.
What are you doing in there?
Why are you here? The show is over. Go home.
Go away.
Get lost.
Oh my gosh. In our house?
Yeah. Go away.